Good evening. Happy Saturday evening. Wow, April 26th. I'm so happy to be here right now with you. My name is Robin Young. As you come in, drop into the chat. Let us know where it is that you're coming in from. Would love to hear some testimonials from anybody who knows what it is that we're going to talk about. If you are a guest, let us know in the chat here if you are a guest, who invited you. Let's keep the chat alive. If you have any questions that come in, drop your questions into the chat so that we can make sure that we take care of you. If you have any questions, there are lots of people who are going to be coming in and they're going to be able to answer your questions for you. So like I said, my name is Robin Young, and I'm going to make a huge promise to you. Look, I'm not going to ask you to spend a ton of money to be able to get results that you want. I'm not going to ask you to give up a ton of energy and time to be able to get results you want. And I'm definitely not going to ask you to give much of your life to be able to give the results that you're looking for, because that we all done that. We've done that many times. And a lot of times we've had results in things, and then we end up kind of finding ourselves back in the exact same position we were before we even got started. And that's because of one thing that's happening in our body. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But here's one thing that I know about you and I that makes you and I exactly the same. And that is, we want to be able to look back at our life. We want to be able to say, I got to live the most abundant filled life. I got to be happy. I got to be in a body that felt like it was actually healthy and thriving. I got to live the most incredible life, making the most amazing choices and experiences from there. And I know that you and I are exactly the same. And that's what the basis of this presentation is for you. So here's the thing, is that if what I'm about to share with you is the world's first and only solution that makes reversing aging simple. Now, I know that was a huge pivot, but it really comes down to this. This is the one aspect of what we're going to talk about here. We really want to reverse aging because we're living in a world of prevention. So if you're looking for better and faster results with the confidence that you're doing everything possible to stay youthful and healthy, well, then this presentation is for you. So this is me and my incredible wife, Sarah. We are both red diamonds here at Frequence. All that really means is we just love sharing this conversation. We just love sharing this mission. And we're just all in and just so happy to be here and plant our flag here and be able to have a conversation with you just like today. These are our three incredible kids that we have together and our four little fur babies that make vacuuming a constant in our house. When you turn on the fans in the summer, you see the little fluff balls go flying everywhere. And I'm so grateful that every single day I get to wake up, I get to be a part of this life, be creating this life. But I tell you for myself that my life it didn't start like this. And so 15 years ago, this was me. This is where I was living in a very different mindset, in a very different body. It was about 75 pounds heavier. I was constantly depressed. I was told by people that I was clinically depressed. I felt like my life had hit a roadblock, and that literally what went through my mind is if I was going to live if the next 5 years of my life were going to be like the previous 10, I just didn't want to live that way. And that's where I made a major decision. You see, I had done everything everybody had ever told me to be able to better myself in my mind and in my body. And I wasn't really getting the results that I was looking for. And so that's where I decided to take life into my own hands for my own health, be my own advocate for my own health, my own CEO of my own health. And I'm going to take you a little bit on that journey of a couple of the things that I learned about, which I feel are really, really important so that you understand. And then I'm going to be able to share a really great biohacking secret with you so that you can understand just how important this is as well. So one thing that I started to learn along my journey is that we live mostly what's called a lifespan. This is where, you're born, you die, and the lifespan was how many years you were here. But what happens is at about the age of 25 or 30, we actually peak as a human being. We peak in all areas of our life. And then after about 25 or 30, the signs and symptoms of aging start creeping in. We start feeling different. We start acting different. We start noticing that that body and that life that we kind of took for granted starts to change ever so slightly. And even though we're living longer as humans than we ever have, our quality of life while we're living has dramatically deplenished. And so in the last like 5 decades, something really big has happened. Because before that, we're living what's called a health span. This is where, again, you'd peak at about 25 or 30, but then you'd maintain your health for your whole entire life. You would maintain relatively great cognition, great energy, great body. You would be healthy. You weren't riddled with disease like people are today. Even the younger people are disease is more rampant than ever before. And we're going to get into reasons why that is. And so here's a few of the things that I started to learn about what was actually taking place in the last few decades, about what's made our bodies actually age faster than ever before in history. And one is toxins. There's more toxins in our air, in our water, in our food, in our soil. Everywhere there are toxins. We're even wearing blue light blocking glasses to block the toxic lights that we have being emitted from our screens that we're staring at all the time. And these are blue light blocking glasses as well. So we are constantly riddled by toxins. Next, our food that we have is depleted from nutrition like crazy, like never before. I used to run an organic food company. I know about the importance of eating clean, organic, healthy food, because conventional food is so depleted. It's just mass. You're just consuming so much of garbage that actually has no nutritional value. And we're also more stressed than we've ever been because of a lot to do with toxins and malnutrition. Even though we're eating, we're getting a lot of calories, but we're not getting a lot of nutrition. And we're more stressed than ever because of society, because there's so much on our shoulders, because of our squirrely brains and everybody moving faster than ever before and not taking time to rest and rejuvenate. And then sleep. The most natural thing we could ever do is actually fall asleep. But now we're taking all sorts of things just to be able to make that happen and stay asleep. The most natural thing our body needs is to fall asleep easy, rest and rejuvenate while asleep, wake up and feel refreshed. But people just aren't feeling that way anymore. And lastly, exercise. It is so vitally important to exercise. It is so. We all know all these things, right? I'm telling you, I'm not telling you anything new. But the fact is that all these things have radically changed in our lives in the last handful of decades. And the reason that I tell you that is because what I learned is that we have about 37 to 50 trillion cells in our body. And each one of those cells has a time for which it's actually alive. Now, as a cell actually lives, like your liver cells are different than your skin cells, than your heart cells, than your gut cells. They all have a different lifespan that they actually live. And what happens is when a cell is living its life, it collects all the damage that's happening nowadays, right? That I just mentioned, all the damage and everything that goes along with that as it lives its life cycle. But then at the end of its life cycle, it actually makes an absolute clone of itself. And that one dies off. And then that clone continues its life, whether it be every once a year, every 6 months, or as your gut, it's every 24 hours. And whatever damage was there before actually gets cloned as well. The damage gets cloned. And so it continues moving forward. And this is why it's so important to understand that this is why we're aging faster than we've ever aged before. But here's what's cool. Is that our body actually has a built-in repair system within it that can actually go and fix that. But because of all the things that I've told you about, our body had that algorithm, because we're just digital devices in an organic material. That's all we are. We have algorithms, we have code. We are just an organic matter digital computer. And we have algorithms built into us that can actually repair the systems that we have, repair those cells, but our cells aren't being repaired. And that is why we're aging faster than ever before. And one of the 2 steps is something called autophagy. This is your fixing crew. So as the cell is living inside your body, and understand that all these cells, each one of them is an individual you, right? And so if you're holding on to fat more, that's in your cells. If your inability to sleep, get restfulness, have a clear mind, digest food, this is all happening within your cells. And if the fixing crew can't go in and do what it needs to do, you age faster than ever, and you start noticing signs and symptoms of things that you didn't deal with when you were younger. And that's what the fixing crew does. It goes into your cell and it goes and repairs all the issues that your body was dealing with. But we're not getting into these fixing crews. So that means our cells are cloning themselves, more damage upon damage upon damage, which is why people are looking older, feeling older, and acting older than they ever have in human history. The second one is called apoptosis. This is the cleanup crew. This is getting rid of all the clutter, all the garbage, all the damage. It's got to get out of your body. Even if you were able to have the fixing crew, all that garbage has got to go somewhere. And this cleanup crew isn't happening as well. You can't have one without the other. They both work hand in hand, just like the left hand, it mirrors the right hand, but they do 2 different jobs. And so we're not getting into this state either. So our bodies are being more inflamed than ever. Our cells are being attacked by zombie cells, converting our cells, the healthy living cells, into damaged cells. And all this is happening within the body more now than ever before in history, because our body used to actually be able to clean up itself and fix itself. So How do you actually get the body into these states? Well, you can't eat a refined diet like most people eat these days. You can't eat high levels of sugars, high levels of carbohydrates. That's primarily what people eat. And so we never used to eat like that. We used to eat a lot of more home cooked, nutritious, full of nutrients meals. Well, you can't eat the type of food that you're eating now in order to make that happen. If you eat that style, you'll never get into those two states. So you have to follow more of a keto lifestyle, high protein, high fats, and moderate carbohydrates, mostly coming from green veggies. You got to make sure you are taking care of your sleep. You are getting the rest that you need, because what most people don't understand, especially when it comes to fat loss, is fat loss doesn't happen when you're actually exercising. Fat, how it leaves the body, is converted into carbon dioxide. It's out through your breath. So you actually definitely need to be making sure that you need to sleep, because that's when most of the action takes place. You can't be full of toxins. You have to be detoxing your body all the time, because toxins cause stress in the body, which won't allow you get into that state. And you have to make sure that because of our diets these days, our blood sugar levels are so high. More people now than ever are pre-diabetic or diabetic, which never used to be a thing, by the way. More than ever, our glucose levels are so high that we have to fast for extended periods of time. And usually, because sugar levels are so high in people's blood, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 days just to get the sugar levels down enough to get into those states of the fixing and cleanup crew. And then lastly is to exercise like a beast at a minimum of 45 minutes at a super high heart rate. I did all this stuff, still do all this stuff. And I'll tell you what, it absolutely changed my life. I went from where I was feeling stuck to actually feeling like I was in control of my life. And most of this has actually just become mainstay for me throughout my life. I still only eat one meal a day, and I still exercise like a beast, and I really monitor my sleep and do whatever I can to not have toxins in my body. But what I want to share with you is actually something that's totally different. So you don't have to do all this hard work, because you're still going to get stressed. You're not going to be able to follow everything perfectly, but what if you could follow everything perfectly without having to do all the hard work? So imagine receiving 10 times the results that you're doing right now. 10 times. You're getting results, just not the results that you want, but get 10 times better results without adding another demanding task to your day, because the efforts that you've made so far have really only slowed things down. Okay, here's why, is that you're still getting older. No matter what you do, you're still getting older, and everything you're doing is just in the preventative aspect of you getting older. You're just trying to mitigate what is actually coming down the pipeline. You're still getting older. Time is still happening, but all that's about to change for you. But before I get there, I need you to understand something. The anti-aging world is a $180 billion industry every single year. This is the health and wellness industry. This is surgery. This is anything that anybody is wanting to be able to do to make it so that they don't feel old, don't look old, don't have the signs and symptoms of old. It is the biggest industry in the world, because we aren't aging gracefully as we used to. We are living a lifespan instead of a health span, living longer than ever, but our quality of life is less than ever. More people are looking to be able to help mitigate that situation. But that's all on the level of prevention. We're not going to touch prevention here. You can't do anything about the fact that time is happening. All the things you're doing are just trying to prevent time happening as fast, but it's still going to happen. And all that changed for me. And when I learned that prevention is not the way to go, it'll only keep you focused on the problem, is when I read this book. This book is based on individual chapters that are based on biohacking, and you getting quick results using science and technology to make that happen, which I love. I'm a techie nerd. And there is a chapter in this book by Dr. David Sinclair, and he says this. He argues that aging is not an inevitable process, but a condition that can be slowed, halted, and even reversed. And when I heard that, I knew that everything was absolutely about to change. Because here's the thing. I can guarantee you that the issues that you're dealing with now, you didn't deal with when you were 15, you didn't deal with when you were 20, and all of a sudden things started creeping in and your life started changing. Well, what is the difference? Because what most people do is, when you were 15, 20, you're in your youth, and you're in your prime, you exercised, you ate, you kind of exercised whenever, you ate kind of whatever, and you slept kind of whatever, right? You didn't make it a big program that you needed to follow from the latest guru. So why does it make sense to follow all of that, doing the same thing again when the issues start to happen, when you didn't have to do it before? We're focusing on the wrong area. And this is where Dr. David Sinclair pioneered something called longevity in medicine. So listen to this.
The people that I know that look freakishly and unusually young for their age, I cannot get over how many of them have told me that I'm on NAD, shockingly looking young people, mainly people in their 50s that look like they could be in their 30s or early 40s to me.
Okay, so this is what Dr. David Sinclair found out. He found out that we have this internal fuel source within our body that is the life force of your whole entire system. It's called NAD, and it's three very long words with a lot of syllables. But the basis of it is that it fuels everything in your body. It fuels your cells. It is that fuel source that your whole entire body needs. And after about 25 or 30, this fuel source starts to deplete. And this is why you start noticing the symptoms of aging coming on, happening that weren't happening before, because you had an abundance of this fuel source. Your body was working the way it was designed to, because it could, because it had the right fuel source to make that happen. Listen to this.
So let's explain NMN for people. It's
Okay.
a precursor for NAD+.
Right. So NAD is critical to energy production in all cells, vital. And levels of NAD tend to go down as we age.
Okay. Energy production. NMN is the precursor to NAD. What that means is NMN will make NAD. Okay. That's all you need to know about that. But the other thing is that it is the creator of energy within the body. Understand this. When most people think about energy, when you think about energy, what do you think about? Exercise, having enough energy to get up and, continue throughout the day and not needing a nap. It takes energy to digest your food. It takes energy for your heart to pump. It takes energy to think. It takes even more energy to think clearly and focused concentration. It takes energy to be able to do all these things. So why does it make sense to focus on all these other things that aren't putting NAD back inside the body, so the body can do what it's designed to do? Look, your body's incredibly intelligent. It knows what it needs to do. If you give it the right fuel source, it can start to do what it was designed to do from the beginning, because it was doing it already. Instead of doing all these hacks and all these things that everybody keeps telling you to do, if you just give your body the fuel that it needs to do the things again, it will work the way it was designed to work. If you go onto social media, you will find people talking about NAD more now than ever since Dr. David Sinclair pioneered the understanding of NAD. He found the fountain of youth inside the body. Even if you go on to PubMed, this is where all the journals and research are actually published here. You can type in NAD. There's over 72,000 articles on here. Everything from skin tightening to glowing of the skin to repairing of muscle and, everything, literally fat loss, metabolism. I don't care what it is that you're looking for. You will find a connection between low NAD and the problem, and high levels of NAD and no issues at all. So this is a major, major thing. So the thing is that people have, since Dr. Sinclair had been talking about it, there have been a lot of clinics that have come around that actually give you a synthetic exogenous form of NAD. By that, I just mean exogenous is just outside the body. But here's the thing. It's kind of like throwing a bowling ball at a chain link fence. If you throw it hard enough and often enough, you'll get some going through, right? This is why you have to sit there, get an IV in your arm, get an injection, sit there and have all this synthetic NAD being put in your body. You are definitely going to get a result. Totally. Just like when you're tired and you have caffeine, you're going to get a result, but it wears away because you're not getting your body to make its own NAD again. You're giving a form that is not bioidentical. Your body doesn't really know how to use it entirely. So that's why you have to go and get it all the time, roughly about 7 to 10 days and up to $2,000 every single session. And the thing is that if it's not bioidentical, your body doesn't really know what to do with it. It's like a key that goes into a lock and it won't turn, right? You can get the key in, but it won't turn. And we need to have a key that goes into the lock, but the lock actually turns. And so this is where I get to be able to share with you something I've waited 15 years to be able to find, to be able to share with you something totally revolutionary that nobody in the world actually has the ability of having for multiple reasons, all pioneered from the science that Dr. David Sinclair talked about, but taken to another level that nobody else in the world, unless you have this at home or are going to be having this, will have the opportunity of having this in your hands. Look, I'm going to show you right now what this looks like. I told you that NMN is the precursor to NAD. We're going to give you one 10 times more powerful than the version Dr. David Sinclair had. We're going to give you one called NMNH. This is exclusive only to us. It's 10 times more powerful than the NMN that your body even had in it naturally. We are going to boost NAD, bioidentical NAD within your body 10 times more powerfully than it did when you were 20. On top of that, we're going to get the fixing crew and the cleanup crew to start to happen for you without you having to focus on your sleep, without you having to focus on exercise, without you having to focus on detoxing or your diet. Nothing. We're going to do all of this for you in the back end while you go and live your life. We're going to make that happen. And that's not all. We're going to give you something called diazeplavin. This is going to give a superpower fuel source to NMNH to make it make even more NAD for you. So we're going to have more NAD being developed inside your body than it actually did when you were younger. We're going to boost it up to 20 times more powerfully. Again, we're going to get you into autophagy, the fixing crew and the cleanup crew without you actually having to do all of the hard work, not having to focus on a diet, without having to focus on a routine. Of course, we all know eating clean is good. Sleeping well is important. Not having toxins is important. But we don't want to make sure that that is the only thing we seem to be doing on this roller coaster ride to be able to get results and have a better life for ourselves. We have technology nowadays. We can make it happen in the back end. AC11, this is going to directly target the fixing crew and the cleanup crew so that the two of them can actually work even more powerfully as if you are somebody who is fasting about 5 to 7 days. Because after about 3 days of fasting, when your blood sugar levels get low, you get into a super heightened state of autophagy and apoptosis. We're going to do that for you without you having to do anything. We're going to get you into these states. Roughly takes about 3 to 5 days just to be able to make this boost as high. We're going to do it for you without you having to do anything. And if you eat clean, if you exercise, if you sleep well, you're only going to make it even more powerful inside your body, but it's not reliant on that whatsoever. Ergotheanine, we are going to upgrade the intelligence of your cells. We are going to boost the power of your DNA with this. It actually comes from a mushroom. And again, we're going to add autophagy and apoptosis. We're going to help. All of these are going to make the fixing crew and the cleanup crew happening. Remember, I told you, your cells have a lifespan, and when they clone themselves at the end of their lifespan, if they actually have damage in the cell, they'll clone the damage. This is why, as you age, if you're working on the preventative measure, you're trying to prevent the damage from happening. We're going to get rid of the damage so that as the cell clones itself, you're going to have less damage and less damage and less damage, and making it so that you're actually reversing your age. And again, these products are exclusive only to our formulation. You'll never find any of these anywhere else. And the formulation is really a big thing. You know, we live in a time nowadays where you can be a part of all sorts of different companies. And what they have are really, really great products, but everybody has that product. Everybody has it. They just market it differently. And these companies make these white label products. You really want to make sure that if you're buying a product or connected to a company, you're connected to a company that has a product exclusive only to that company. You won't be able to find, it's like going and buying potato chips. They're basically, you know what, it's like a whole bunch of companies basically doing the exact same thing. You know, even shampoo, conditioner, I don't care what it is. When you go anywhere to your grocery store and you see a shelf of different brands selling basically the exact same thing with the different marketing attached to it, that's what we don't want to be a part. Our product here, all of our products here at Frequence are a shelf unto themselves. There's nothing to the left and nothing to the right. There is absolutely zero competition in what it is that we have here. And that's why I feel so honored and so special to have this. Now, look, I want you to imagine it like this. I'm going to pull that all together. NMNH, okay? So we have about 37 to 50 trillion cells in your body. Each one of them is like a little F1 racing car, okay? All of you, put them all together, you have your beautiful yourself. NMNH is going to be the premium fuel for that little car. Diazeplavin is going to be like a nitric oxide switch. AC11, this is going to be like the pit crew, making sure all the damage is being taken care of. And ergotheanine, this is going to upgrade the computer chip to make the performance of that F1 car even more better. So what does this all mean? This means that version of you that didn't deal with all those things is likely able to come back. That issue, that time when you kind of took your body for granted, where you didn't really think about it, you kind of just woke up, did your thing, enjoyed life. Well, that was because you had so many things working in your body that were working the way they were designed. This is the first product in the world that can do all of that for you within the back area, while you get to do more of what you want, when you want, with who you want, as often as you want. And here's the best part. We believe in this product so much that we will give you a 30-day full money back guarantee. But here's the thing, a little disclaimer. Whatever age you are, wherever it is that you are in your lifespan, moving to a health span, right? We want to get you back to a health span. You got to give it more than one month. Give it a minimum of 3 months. Make that investment in yourself. Yes, there are definitely people who are noticing differences in their skin, in the glowness, in their energy, in their mood, in their exercise, in their fat loss, all within 30 days. But we need to give the body the opportunity to use this and start to make this happen and build upon it, right? So that our cells are getting rid of the damage and our bodies are getting rid of the garbage in itself. Okay. That was awesome. I'm so glad that I get to be able to share that with you, but I'm even more excited to be able to share this next stage with you here. And I said to you one thing in the beginning of this, look, you and I are exactly the same. We want to be able to live the best quality of life possible. And one of those areas is how we feel inside our body. And the second area is what we get to experience in our life. And so much of what we get to experience in our life is limited because of the funds that we have. I want to be able to bridge that gap for you. Look, I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm just showing you a way that you can be able to do the same thing that you're doing all the time. When you go to a movie, go to dinner, social media, love a post, you share this stuff and you're not being reciprocated for it whatsoever. I'm going to show you how you can just share doing the thing is so natural, like falling asleep, just so natural already. I'm going to show you how you can actually be paid to be able to do that. So let me talk to you about 3 of our foundational products that are just such high, heavy hitters. First is Rise. Rise was the original development of this product. Now we're going to be moving fast through this last part. Okay. If we haven't been moving fast, we're moving faster now. Rise was developed to be able to help you concentrate, focus, have a better day, better mood, boost your mental clarity, help support creativity, help support brain health. The purpose of Rise was to be able to help you just feel better now. Instead of waiting, Rise was developed to really help in the movement. The mission of what it is that we do here at Frequence is in the empowerment and the betterment of you. And Rise is such a great way of doing that. It's powered by 7 organic nootropic mushrooms. And everything here is all natural in what we do here at Frequence. And that's what makes this really special as well. Again, only for us. You'll never find a product as powerful and as natural without synthetics here when you try Rise. So if you're looking to have the best, most powerful month of your life, you just wake up feeling empowered, have energy all throughout the day, you're able to focus and concentrate and find yourself regulated in your mood throughout the day. Whatever your better is for you, you will find that with Rise. Next is Source. This is where we're going to focus on all those other things I talked about, which are really important. We need to take care of our gut. You can eat really, really well, but if your gut's a mess, man, it's going to throw off your mood. It's going to throw off your digestion. It's going to throw off your sleep. 70% of your immune system lives inside your gut. And because of everything that's happening these days with our environment and everything I talked about, people's guts our gut is so sensitive that it even picks up on having a bad day. It is so emotional. Our guts are so emotional that this Source is going to help to calm it down. It's going to help to detoxify as well, help to give you all the nutrition that you're missing from all the depleted dead food that we're eating these days. But when you add it to Rise as well, you're having this amazing biohacking combination that you won't find anywhere else. People notice incredible results in quality of life really, really fast. And it's as simple as just 2 vials of that every single day, add it to your Rise, and you'll have a game-changing life, I guarantee you. And again, 30-day full money-back guarantee. And next is Face. Face was designed to give Botox and filler-like results. It's going to tighten your skin. It's going to bring back the glow. It's going to be without needles, without the price point, without the repair, and without sometimes those odd mistakes that happen. We're going to get past all the layers of skin and into the derma. And what that's going to do is that's going to make sure that everything that needs to happen, because that's where the beginning of it all happens, down past all the layers of skin. You see so many products out there when it comes to the face, the molecules are too big. They can't actually go where they need to. So they just sit on the top of the skin doing almost nothing. You need a product that can actually be absorbed into the skin and go down into the derma. So you don't have this oily skin left over. This product is going to do that. It's going to help to reduce the signs of aging and calm any irritations that you have in the skin as well. All 3 of these, of course, we have so many more products, but these are, again, exclusive to us. You won't find these formulas anywhere else, and the power of these, you won't find anywhere else. Now, let's pivot here and talk a little bit about timing. You see, in the last year, we've been a part of what's called a beta phase. A beta phase is where we have just started to make things happen. Brand new company backed by a 30-year-old billion-dollar logistical company, helping us be able to bring this conversation out into the world. And that's what's happened in the last year. But now we've moved in what's called the pioneer phase. This is where we've got everything ready. We are ready to take this to the next level. And we're looking for people who really want to be able to share this conversation at high levels, people who want to be a part of community, people who want to be a part of culture, people who want to build something strong. Because as we're building something here, if you're looking for turnkey legacy income, this is where it happens. This is where it happens, where the energy that gets put out now gets multiplied over and over and over again every single year, much faster than if you came in at the momentum or the stability phase. But one of the wonderful things about what we have here is who runs the helm. You know, there's a saying that everything starts at the top. And listen to what Barb Pickock, our CEO, says. She says, "We are in it for you, not the shareholders. Being family owned allows us to stay mission driven, prioritizing people over profits, and ensuring that every affiliate, customer, and partner feels valued and supported. We don't have shareholders here. There's no board. It is a family run company." And that's what's so beautiful and so unique about what we have here. You see, the most precious thing that I believe needs to be talked about more than ever is our community and our culture. It is really the glue about what it is. We have a home here for everybody, and it's run by a family who really wants to make that the foundation and the mainstay of everything that we do is the people. The people first is what this really matters, not the bottom dollar. Of course, you need to be able to have a business actually making money, but we need to keep the focus on the people and the reasons why people are actually here. So listen to this.
Getting paid every single week and then a larger check every month has been such a game changer for us. I don't have to go to the grocery store and check my account before like going to the checkout, so I'm not embarrassed. Putting gas in the car is like no sweat. And having a 12-year-old who is literally growing like a weed, I don't freak out because I need new shoes or new clothes for him. This has been a phenomenal change because now every month I get to tuck some money away for us.
And you know what? That's just so much, that conversation is so incredibly common. And look, you know, there are people here who are making thousands of dollars a month, and there are people here who just want to make extra hundreds of dollars a month. Whatever it is that you want, we have the system and the strategy and the tools to be able to make that happen for you. And it's as simple as this. Look, all you have to do is just share. You're sharing, you're a beast at sharing already. And this, our source and rise, helping people rise and vibe, this is the foundation of everything that we do. And it's as simple as this. If you just help 5 friends grab Rise and Source every single month using our systems, our strategies, our tools, you can earn an extra $150 every single month. I just want you to think about for a second, what would you have to do? What kind of a job? If you went to go work at a job, how much time would you have to invest to be able to earn that additional $150 a month? What if you did that every week? What if we multiplied this every single month? If all you did was just help 5 people every month, Rise and Vibe, kept those 5 people previously on subscription, by the end of month 5, you could have anywhere from $825 to $1,000. Now, look, you can do as much as you want. You could be earning thousands of dollars a month. This is just to show you, just as simple as this. You're already great at sharing. If you just share with what it is that we have here and add this into your life, not asking you to change anything about your life. If you just add this into your life, you can have some additional income coming into your life so that you have the opportunity of having more decisions. Because isn't that really what money is all about? Money offers you more choices in life. It alleviates stress and offers you more choices. And one really great way that we'll also help you be able to do that is with sales funnels. You see, we live primarily online, social media, digital devices. And we don't want you to have to learn exactly everything about what everything is. We just want you to be able to share. You share and then send somebody a link. Simple as that. You know, if you're sharing a movie with somebody, you don't take them to the movie theater. You don't sit there and watch the movie with somebody. You just share the movie with them and let the movie theater do the work with the movie. We're going to do that the exact same thing here. And this is with our sales funnels. All you have to do is share what you love. That's it. And then send them to these funnels that we have. All the tools that we have, we're going to do all the work on the back end for you so that you can just stay focused on what it is that you do. And that's building community, culture, sharing, doing your thing. And we're going to take care of the back end for you. So here's a couple ways that you can get started. One, if all you wanted to do is be able to join us, be a part of our community, be a part of this amazing culture that is growing bigger and bigger every single day, you can have an annual membership of $49.99. But if you wanted to get in with your own goodies as well, have your own personal testimonial, your own story. You can connect with the person who invited you here, and they can let you know of this graphic here where we will waive the $49.99 for you. We'll take care of the first year for you just by you investing in yourself and having your own personal testimonial. I also put together something called the Gold Bundle Breakdown. If you want to move fast, if you're saying, I want to move quick, I want to be able to get this up and running, I want to be able to make some big choices in my life, I want to be able to let go of some things in my life, whatever that is for you, please take the time to watch the Gold Bundle Breakdown. The person who brought you here today will be able to direct you to that. So look, it's as simple as this. Grab the affiliate link from the person who invited you, watch the video, or pick your bundle, whichever is the best direction for you. And then on Monday, we'll have another presentation happening at this exact same time. We take Sundays off and just go invite some people. That's it. If you were invited here and you watch this and you found value in this and you'd like to take it to the next step, think about what this could do for people that you know, you love, and who trust you. And just reach out to them and just invite them to the presentation. Don't know what to say? Well, the person who invited you here said the exact perfect thing because you're here with me right now. Okay, that's simple as that. My name is Robin Younge. I just want to say thank you so much for spending some quality time with me. I hope you found value in what it is that I said. I hope you're excited. I hope you really want to be able to take that next step in your journey, and welcome to Frequence.